There are few couples in television as beloved as Al Roker and Deborah Roberts. For decades, they've been the picture of grace, resilience, and warmth. Two people who've not only conquered their fields, but done it side by side, with love, laughter, and mutual respect. But lately, behind that trademark smile and the polished public image, whispers have emerged suggesting all may not be as perfect as it seems. It all began after Al shared an emotional reflection during a recent interview, where he spoke candidly about a longtime friendship with a former colleague, someone he described as a person who's always been there through the highs and lows. At first, the comment seemed innocent enough. Al has always been open about cherishing his friendships, particularly with those who stood by him during his well-documented health battles. But what truly caught attention was the deep emotion behind his words. He paused, his voice catching slightly as he said, "Sometimes there are people who come into your life and understand you in ways you can't quite explain. They remind you who you are when the world gets heavy." The interview ended on a thoughtful note, but fans and insiders couldn't help but notice how personal it all felt. In the days that followed, speculation grew that Deborah Roberts, Al's wife of nearly 3 decades, was deeply affected by what she heard. According to one close source, Deborah felt blindsided by the tone of the interview. Though she's always trusted her husband completely, the emotional weight of Al's comments struck a nerve. It wasn't about jealousy, it was about vulnerability, about wondering why he hadn't shared those feelings with her first. For Deborah, a respected journalist known for her integrity and compassion, this moment reportedly brought back old worries. Throughout their marriage, the couple has navigated the pressures of fame, long separations due to work, and Al's serious health challenges, from his prostate cancer diagnosis to life-threatening blood clots. Through every storm, Deborah has been by his side, sometimes fiercely protective, sometimes quietly strong. But this time, insiders say she struggled to understand where this sudden flood of emotion was coming from. She loves him with all her heart, one friend said. But Deborah is human. When you hear your partner speak that passionately about someone else, even platonically, it stirs something deep inside. Behind closed doors, sources reveal that Al and Deborah had a heart-to-heart conversation that stretched long into the night. Those close to them say there were tears, long pauses, and honest words exchanged. Al reportedly reassured her that his comments were never meant to hurt or confuse anyone, that they came from a place of gratitude, not longing. But for Deborah, it was a moment of emotional reckoning. After years of balancing 2 demanding careers, raising children, and standing by her husband through repeated health scares, she wanted to know that their emotional connection remained as unshakable as ever. She wasn't angry, the insider clarified. She was heartbroken. There's a difference. Friends who've seen them together since the conversation say the couple is working through the tension with the same grace they've shown for years. Still, this incident seems to have opened a window into a more vulnerable side of their marriage, one marked by love, but also by the quiet fears that come with growing older together. Al, ever the optimist, has since spoken about gratitude and perspective in subtle but meaningful ways. During a segment on Today, he reflected on the fragility of life and the importance of holding close the people who matter most. Viewers noticed how he glanced off-camera for a moment, and when he smiled, it was the kind of smile that said everything words couldn't. Meanwhile, Deborah has remained the picture of professionalism. She hasn't publicly addressed the situation, but her recent posts have hinted at deeper reflection. In one message shared online, she wrote, "Love is a choice you make every day, especially when it's tested, especially when it's hard." To many, it was a quiet acknowledgement that even the strongest partnerships face moments of doubt, and that true love is found not in perfection, but in perseverance. Those closest to the couple say that despite the emotional turbulence, Al and Deborah's bond remains unbreakable. They've weathered far worse: hospital stays, near-death scares, public scrutiny, and come out stronger each time. Al knows how lucky he is, said a longtime friend. And Deborah? She's not just his wife, she's his anchor, the one person who's kept him grounded through every high and low. Indeed, sources reveal that since the emotional fallout, Al has made a conscious effort to slow down and prioritize his family. Early mornings that were once dominated by work prep are now spent in quiet breakfast moments with Deborah, savoring coffee and conversation, the kind of simple intimacy that keeps a marriage alive. This story isn't one of scandal or betrayal, it's one of humanity, of two people who've built a life together, navigating fame, illness, and emotion, and still choosing love through it all. In a world where celebrity relationships often crumble under the weight of speculation, Al Roker and Deborah Roberts stand as a reminder that even when misunderstandings arise, love doesn't have to fade. It can deepen. And perhaps that's the real message behind all of this. That sometimes the hardest conversations lead to the most meaningful growth. That even after decades together, there's always more to learn and more to love. If you've been touched by this heartfelt story of love, honesty, and endurance, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update.